Have you ever stopped to think about how uncommon it is to keep doing some daily things after age 65? Most people think of slowly losing strength and abilities as they get older, as if life gets smaller and less fun with each year that goes by. What if I told you that wasn't the whole story? Some people, maybe even you, are not living up to what most people think they should be doing as they get older. We're going to talk about 8 things that you can do in your golden years that will make you not only live them, but also thrive in them. You are one of a very small group of people whose bodies and minds are still strong after all this time, and you might not even know how special that makes you. As we talk about these 8 secret superpowers of graceful aging, I want you to check and see how many of them you can see in yourself. And if you do, be proud of yourself. You're doing something really cool that most people your age can't. Please like this video before we start. It really helps other people find these tips, and it keeps us motivated to write more about how to live better, longer, and happy. If this speaks to you, please subscribe and click the bell icon to make sure you don't miss any of our future movies. Also, please tell me in the comments if you want more posts like this. Just type 1 if you do or 0 if you'd rather have something else. The things you say about this show shape it and help us all learn. First, let's look at the first sign, which seems easy, but says a lot about your health, determining your grip strength. Even though you might not pay attention to how well you hold a jar or shake someone's hand, your grip is a body language that tells you something. That tells a lot about your heart health, your nervous system, and even how well your heart can pump blood to your arms and hands. People don't know that being able to carry a heavy grocery bag or easily twist open a pickle jar lid isn't just a small convenience, but a strong sign of healthy aging. It has been shown that people with strong grips not only get better from illness and accident faster, but they also tend to live on their own more and have a better quality of life. Let's say Frank is 75 years old and retired. He loves working in his yard. He doesn't give his weekends a second thought as he lifts bags of dirt, trims bushes, and moves tools around. His doctor last checked him out and found that his grip strength was the same as guys almost 20 years younger. This is more than just something for Frank to talk about over coffee. It means that his heart, muscles, and nerves are all doing better than most. One of the best signs that you're aging well is that you can still open jars, carry groceries, and hold on to the driving wheel for long drives without your hands getting tired. But why does having a strong grip mean so much? It's not just about your hands, that's why. If your grip gets weaker, it could mean that your muscles, nerves, or even blood flow are starting to slow down. This could cause you to trip and break a bone or just lose the ability to do the things you love. If you've ever had trouble holding a coffee mug straight or taking the cap off of a bottle, you know how bad a bad grip can be. That's why doctors pay attention to it. Everyone from your brain to your toes knows that having a strong grip is important for your health. Your muscles are still working, your nerves are sharp, and your heart is moving blood where it needs to go if you can hold on to something firmly. It's like your body is telling you, hey, I still got this. When you open a jar or carry a load of fuel, pay attention to what your hands are telling you. They can show you how strong your body really is. Now let's talk about the second amazing sign, being able to stand up without help. This may seem simple, but it really tests how strong, balanced, and flexible your body is. Are you able to sit down on the floor and get back up without using a chair, your hands, or someone else's help? You're in a small group if you can. A lot of people over 65 have lost this skill, and they don't always know it until they need it. When was the last time you bent down to get a pen that fell under the couch, or sat with your legs crossed to play a board game with your grandchildren? How hard was it for you to get up? Did you need help? You may not think much about these daily movements, but for many seniors, they are very hard and can make them give up things they used to love. Margaret, who is 72 years old, does some easy yoga every morning. She doesn't have much trouble going from lying down on the floor to standing up straight. Her doctor was amazed because most women her age have to hold on to something to get up. Margaret works hard to keep her muscles and joints flexible. Because of this, she can garden, read on the floor, and chase her puppy without thinking about how to get back up. It's good for you to be able to quickly get up from the floor. It keeps your body young and your freedom and independence. Why is it important to have this skill? If you can get back up from the floor, That means your body is still coordinated and strong. Your hips should be able to bend a little. It also means that your nerves are strong enough to make it easy to control your muscles. Studies have shown that older people who have trouble getting up from the floor are much more likely to have movement problems, fall, and even die early. If you can do this without much trouble though, it means your muscles are toned and your joints are well oiled. Your body can still protect itself from harm. Margaret wants to be able to garden, read, or play with her puppy while lying down without having to worry about how she'll get back up. You are not just getting older if you can still do this, you are getting older with real strength. Good stance is the third sign. You might not think about it as much as the first two, but it's just as important. Can you walk or sit without slouching forward? Stand straight up with your shoulders back. It's not enough to just look good in pictures to have good stance. It means your back and core muscles are strong, your joints are healthy, and your nerve system is at full strength. Back pain, weak muscles, trouble breathing, and even more falls can happen if you don't stand up straight. People often think that George, a former teacher who is 74 years old, is younger just by the way he walks. George is tall, which even his doctor noticed. Most men his age have slouched over from years of sitting or looking forward, but George is straight. He not only looks younger, but he can also breathe better, move with more confidence, and keep his balance. If you stand up straight, your lungs can fully open. This lets you take in more oxygen with each breath. More air gives you more energy, helps you think more clearly, and makes you feel better. If you always slouch, your body has to work harder to make up for it, which could make you tired or achy. You are aging well if you can still stand tall with little effort. This means that your muscles are strong, your joints are flexible, and you are aging well. You show that your body is still strong every time you get out of a chair without using your hands. This brings us to our fourth sign, getting up from a chair without hands. For what it's worth, this little task will really test your balance, strength, and rhythm in your legs. You can push yourself up from a kitchen chair, a soft armchair, or even the driver's seat of your car, if you don't use the arms or lean forward to get going. Your age group needs a little help, but if you can still stand up easily, you're keeping a skill that's important for being on your own. Linda, a grandmother of 72 years, didn't understand how important this was until she went to a friend's birthday party. Some of her friends were having trouble getting up from their chairs and needed help. Others sat longer than they wanted to, in order to avoid drawing attention to their problem. Later, her grandson asked her to get up from the floor without using her hands. She did it, which surprised her, her family, and herself. Even though it was a small win, it showed that all the years of walks, stretching, and light exercise were paying off. You use your core muscles, quadriceps, and glutes, as well as your balance and agility, when you get out of a chair. You're showing that your body is still strong, because you can still do this easily. Many people lose power as they age. Research has shown that people who can stand up without help tend to live longer, better, and more independent lives. If you find yourself, let's take a moment to think about all the things you've done just by being able to do these daily things. Each one is a rare accomplishment that puts you in a small group of people who are really growing as they age. You may not have thought of them as special before. Now, let's talk about balance. It's one of those great things for your health that you don't realize how important it is until it starts to go away. To be physically fit and mentally coordinated, at the same time, you must be able to stand on one leg for more than 10 seconds without wobbling, grabbing a wall, or losing your balance. You don't just do this at the doctor's office or as a fun party trick, it shows how well your body and brain work together in real life. Research has shown that as people get older, their balance naturally gets worse. Having a bad sense of balance is closely linked to a higher risk of falls, broken bones, and even a shorter lifespan. That's why, if you pass this test, you really are in a small group of people whose bodies are fighting against being old. Do this with me right now. Lift one foot slowly off the ground, stand up straight, and look at a spot on the wall. Start counting 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, etc., and see how long you can last without swinging your arms or letting your foot fall. Good job if you can do it. Still, your legs, core, and nervous system are all working together to keep you steady and standing. Don't worry if you find yourself wobbling or needing to hold on to something. You can improve your balance with some daily practice. Frank, the former carpenter we talked about earlier, carried lumber and climbed ladders all his life without losing his balance. But as he got older, he became more aware of the little things, like how he felt when the ground was uneven, or when he hesitated before jumping off a curb. His doctor told him to do easy movements, like walking down the hall heel-toe, or standing on one leg while brushing his teeth. Frank worked hard for a few months, and was able to hold a one-leg stand for more than 15 seconds again. He felt proud of himself, and had more faith in his body's skills. This shows that even later in life, small habits can lead to big changes. So why is balance so important? Because it's your body's way of protecting itself from falls, which are the most common threat to the freedom of older adults. Health professionals say that seniors most often get seriously hurt when they fall. These injuries can set off a chain reaction of other health problems that can make life very difficult. That's not all you need to do to have good balance. Your brain, nerves, muscles and joints all need to work together. That's why it's so important to keep this system sharp. If any part of it starts to slip, your balance goes with it. People who can stand on one leg for 10 seconds or more are not only defying gravity, but also the odds. This shows that your body is ready to keep you busy and independent for years to come. Of course, safety should always come first. If you're not quite there yet, a little work every day can make a big difference. Next, let's talk about another sign of a rare physical skill: being able to get on the floor and get back up without help. It may sound like this is the same floor test as before, but it's actually even harder, because you need to be strong, flexible, balanced, and coordinated all at the same time. To do it, find a clear area, slowly sit down on the floor, and then try to stand back up without using your arms, hands, or knees to help you. You are in a very special group if you can do this without any problems. Based on statistics, you are likely to live longer and stay independent well into old age. To do this, you need strong leg muscles, flexible joints, a stable core, and good balance. If you don't use these skills often, they can get worse with age. Joan, a grandmother of 72 years, has been gardening and chasing her grandchildren for decades. She got up from the living room couch one afternoon while playing a game without thinking about it. She did it without using her hands or any other support. Later, her doctor told her that this skill told her more about her health and how long she would live than almost any other medical test. Getting on and off the floor, without much trouble, is a skill that can help you live a happy, safe, and honorable life. This is a skill that doctors and experts take very seriously. Real tests, like sitting on the floor and getting back up, are used to see how much help someone needs. Research has shown that older people who can do this without help are much less likely to fall, get hurt, or even die soon. Why? Because this move needs strong legs and a strong core. It also needs flexible hips and knees, and a nervous system that is sharp enough to keep everything working together. Losing this skill is often the first sign of a more major decline in your health, so enjoy it while you still have it. In that case, don't give up. Squats, lunges and light stretches can help you build it back over time. Remember that your body is very flexible, and with some time and effort, you can always get back what you've lost. Let's look at another sign of good aging that doesn't get much attention: being able to carry heavy things with ease. This isn't something most people think is important, but it can tell you a lot about your strength, endurance, stance, and balance. Consider this: it takes a lot of strength to carry a full grocery bag to the kitchen or a laundry basket up the stairs. You need strong grips, durability in your upper body, a strong core, and strong support in your lower body. Most people your age aren't in better shape than you are, if you can still do this without feeling like you just ran a race. What do you know? Walter, a former teacher who is 74 years old, didn't realize he had a special skill until a much younger man offered to help him carry his groceries because he thought Walter would have trouble. Walter laughed and carried his bags with ease. He knew that walking, gardening, and lifting weights in his shed for years had kept him ahead of the curve. A lot of the time, doctors say that having trouble with everyday things like carrying food is an early sign of health problems, like muscle loss or even neurological issues. You're not only independent if you can still do these things with confidence, you're also a great example of how to age in a healthy way. It takes a lot of work to carry big things. If you want to walk slowly and climb stairs, you need strong legs. Your shoulders and upper back support the weight, your core keeps you upright, and your hands and forearms hold the bags. Your heart and lungs are working hard to keep up with the effort, and your bones and joints are standing strong against the forces that can cause arthritis or osteoporosis. Don't worry if you get tired or shaky after moving something heavy. You can get better at this by doing things like squeezing a stress ball, lifting light weights, or just being more active every day. It's important to be consistent, and little things do add up over time. Enjoy the fact that you can still move your furniture or carry groceries as proof that you're still physically independent and involved in life. This strength doesn't just help you with chores, it also lets you help your friends, keep up with your grandchildren, and stay an important part of your community. We should talk about getting up from the floor again, because it is one of the best ways to tell if someone will be healthy and able to live on their own in later years. Emma, a grandmother of 80 years, is playing with her grandkids on the floor of the living room. She stood up easily when the game was over, brushed off her jeans, and didn't even think about how she did it. From the couch, her daughter was amazed. Many women 20 or 30 years younger would have trouble doing that without help. Emma wasn't born with the ability to get up from the floor. She worked on it over years of gardening, yoga, and just being active. The fact that this skill requires power, flexibility, balance, and coordination makes it a good way for doctors to test functional fitness. Medical papers have published studies that show people who can get up from the floor without help are much less likely to fall and break a bone or have long-term health problems. That you can still do this shows that your body can handle the unexpected, like getting up after a fall or healing from tripping. This is more important than most people think. It's not just about staying safe, though that's a big part of it. It's also about being happy with being able to live your life the way you want to. Being able to get up and down from the floor lets you farm, play with your grandchildren, reach for things on low shelves, or just relax on the grass during a picnic. It means your nerves are sharp, your muscles are strong, and your joints are flexible. Please don't give up if this movement is hard for you. Start with small steps and support yourself with a sturdy chair or a cushion. Do light workouts to get stronger and more flexible. It's always good to make progress, and keeping or getting back this skill can make a big difference in your daily life. Let's take a moment to think about what we've talked about so far. The fact that you're still reading this shows that you care a lot about your health, your freedom, and your ability to age with strength and honor. You now know that grip strength, balance, posture, carrying food, and getting up from the floor aren't just normal things. They're rare and valuable signs of aging with real strength. Let's talk about something even stronger than strength now that we've reached the end of the 8 amazing signs. Having meaning and fulfillment in your life is what sets people who not only live longer but also live better apart. It's what keeps you going today and makes your days bright. You might ask, how is living with purpose a sign of aging in a special way? The truth is easy to understand, but very deep. Many studies around the world have shown that seniors who have something to look forward to every day, whether it's taking care of family or friends, doing hobbies, helping, or even learning something new, tend to be healthier, smarter, and live longer. Being busy isn't the only reason. Feeling like your life has meaning, that you're still learning, giving, and linked to something bigger than yourself. Purpose is like the energy that runs through your body and mind, letting you get back on your feet after a setback and find joy in the little things. Take the case of Helen, an 83-year-old woman who felt lost after she retired from her long job as a librarian. Her days seemed empty, and she could tell that her mood and energy were getting worse. She went to the nearby community center one afternoon and met a group of seniors who got together once a week to read books and tell stories. As soon as she did, she was helping to plan events, read to kids, and even start a book club for young people. Helen got her sense of purpose back, and her desire to live came back with it. Her family and friends noticed that she smiled more, walked higher, and even remembered things better than before. It's important to remember that finding meaning doesn't have to be big. It can start with a single step towards something you care about. But what does meaning really do to the mind and body? Having a reason to get out of bed every morning changes the chemistry of your brain,
and the way your body handles stress in a good way. People who have a strong sense of purpose make less stress hormones, their hearts are healthy, and they even lose their memories more slowly. Your body keeps you more alert, energetic, and even physically stronger when you feel wanted, valued, or inspired. This is why a lot of doctors now tell older people to stay active in their communities, try new things, or be role models for younger people. The energy of a goal can be just as strong as any drug or workout plan. There's no need to change the world to have a reason to live. It could be something as easy as taking care of a yard or pet, helping out neighbors, or spending time with family and friends. For some, it's about finding new ways to enjoy old hobbies, like painting, singing, or writing, that make them feel good and joyful. For some, it's about giving back, whether that means working, giving money to a good cause, or just being there for a friend who is struggling. To make it work, you need to find what makes you happy and do it often. Ask yourself, what makes me feel alive, if you don't know where to begin? What am I excited about every day? What do I want to tell other people? The answers will sometimes surprise you and lead you to new places you didn't expect. Let's look at the big picture by putting all 8 signs together. Picture a life where it's easy to open jars, get up from the floor to standing, walk straight with good posture, get out of a chair without any trouble, balance on one leg, carry groceries without any trouble, and get back up after a little fall. These are more than just physical skills, they show how dedicated you are to staying active, being ready to push yourself, and keeping your mind and body in sync. But the last sign, purpose, tells us that there is a lot more to aging well than just bones and muscles. It's about the spirit, the soul, and the heart. Let's look at another case from real life. Meet 77-year-old Roberto. He lost his wife and has been feeling lonely. Bobo thought about giving up for a while. Then he started going to a neighborhood group for retired veterans. He made new friends, told stories, and even started teaching younger members how to fix old radios, which was something he had loved doing since he was a kid. All of a sudden, Roberto's days were full of fun, learning, and meeting new people. He slept better, felt like he had more energy, and his aches and pains got better. We can find new meaning in our lives at any age, as shown by Roberto's story. Sometimes, the smallest things we do can have the biggest effects on how we feel and live. Please enjoy this movie and feel proud if you notice that you already have some of these 8 signs. You are one of a kind. Your bodies and minds are aging with a power and grace that is very rare. It's possible that you only have a few of the 8 signs. In any case, you're ahead of the curve and showing other people that life can be full of joy, energy, and new discoveries after 65. Do not give up if you are still working on some of these skills. At any point, you can grow and get better, and every little step counts. Remember that your journey is unique and that you are stronger than you think. For example, you could work on your balance while brushing your teeth, lift light weights to improve your grip strength, or just find a new sport that you enjoy. Remember that you don't get these skills by chance. They come from having good habits for a long time, like being active, eating well, being curious, and not letting failures define you. Adding a few simple habits to your day can help you keep your skills sharp. You should stretch every morning, go for walks outside, play games that make you think, and laugh with people. These are the things that will keep you healthy and happy for a long time. And finally, no matter how big or small, try to find ways to give your life value. Having a purpose is what keeps you going, even when things get tough. Let's check ourselves out quickly. As you listen, think about how many of these signs you can find in your own life. How easy is it for you to get up from a chair? Are you able to stand on one leg? Are you excited to do something important every morning, no matter how easy it is? Fill out the form below and post your answer. We look forward to hearing your stories, struggles, and successes. Your story can give others hope, and we can form a group of people who are changing what it means to age well. Please like this video and join if you haven't already. This will help you get more tips and motivational stories. With your help, we can keep sending words of hope and encouragement to more people. Don't forget that every view, review, and like helps other people find these tips for living a happy old age.
Finally, Keep in mind that getting older doesn't mean going away or becoming less important. It's about changing, getting stronger, and finding new things you enjoy. If you want to join this small but important group or are already a member, know that you're not alone. There are people all over the world who will support you, learn with you, and celebrate every win, no matter how small. Stay interested, stay busy, and most of all, keep finding a reason to live every day. That's the real key to not only living longer, but also better. As this trip comes to an end, let's take a moment to appreciate all that you have done by just being here, listening, and thinking about your life. People who still have these 8 powerful signs are in a very small but amazing group. They can open jars and carry groceries, get up from the floor, stand tall with good posture, get out of a chair without help, balance on one leg, move down and up from the floor, and most importantly, live with purpose and fulfillment. These aren't just signs of getting older, they're also signs of growing, of being strong, flexible, and happy as the years go by. Finally, don't forget that every step you take toward these goals is something to be proud of. It's not about being perfect as you age, it's about making progress, sticking with things, and finding happiness and meaning in every stage of life. Let's read these 8 signs again and really understand them. What's your grip strength? It's not just how strong your hands are, it shows how healthy your heart, muscles, and nerves are also. You can move around and play if you can get up from the floor. It also shows how coordinated, flexible, and sure of yourself you are. The way you stand tells everyone that you are strong, balanced, and proud. Not needing to use your hands to get out of a chair is a quiet but strong sign of having strong legs and being independent. Not only is balancing on one leg a fun test, it shows that your brain and body are still working together. Being able to do it keeps you from falling and gives you confidence to move around. Just carrying your groceries is a great way to show off your strength, endurance, and balance, and it also makes you look like a strong, independent person. You can tell you'll be mobile and healthy for life by how easily you can get on and off the floor. This keeps you ready for play, challenges, and adventures. Finally, having a reason for living and being happy with your life is what keeps you learning, loving, and improving, no matter what age you are. When you've had these skills for a long time, it's easy to forget about them or take them for granted. But they really aren't that common. At least some of these things are hard for most people your age, and a lot of them wish they had the freedom, strength, and confidence that you still have. So if you can do even a few of these things, you should feel proud of yourself. You are not only getting older, but also smarter, stronger, and better able to handle things. Your family, friends, and the people in your neighborhood look up to you. You show what it means to age with strength, beauty, and hope. What if you're not there yet though? What should you do if you have trouble with some of these signs, or if you think your skills are getting worse? Know that you're not by yourself. As people age, they go through better and worse times. And it's good news that the mind and body are very flexible, even as we age. To start new habits, get back old skills, or find new sources of strength and happiness, it's never too late. Over time, small steps taken every day can add up to big changes. If you have trouble with your grip strength, try moving light weights or squeezing a stress ball. If you have trouble keeping your balance, stand on one leg every day for a few seconds. If you need to, use a chair to help you. To improve your posture, stretch first thing in the morning, or walk straight with your shoulders back. It might be hard to get out of a chair. Try some light squats, or work on getting up slowly and safely. Remember that you can always find meaning and happiness. To get going or feel like you don't know what to do, start with something small. You could call a friend, write a note, help out, or just do something you enjoy. Helping other people, or learning something new, can sometimes light you back up. Everyday things like taking care of a plant, playing with a pet, or reading a good book can give you purpose, that you stay interested, get active, and keep reaching out to the people around you. Do not stop going forward. Pay attention to your body and take care of your whole being, body, mind, and spirit. Eat foods that are good for you, get enough rest, and spend time outside if you can. Also, connect with people who make you feel good. Do not be scared to ask for help or tell other people about your journey. Knowing when to ask for help is sometimes the most important thing you can do. Remember that every action, no matter how small, leads to a longer, healthier, and more satisfying life. Take a moment to like this movie and subscribe to our channel if you liked it. We can share these important lessons about getting older, health, and happiness with more people, thanks to your help. Feel free to leave a story, tip, or question in the blanks below. We love reading about your life and learning from what you've done. You are important to this group, and your voice counts. Let's do one last self-check before we end. Of the 8 signs, which one do you see in yourself? Which ones are you happy with, and which ones do you want to improve? Leave your answers in the comments, and then tell us one thing you'll do this week to help you age in a healthy way. You could go for a walk, call an old friend, work on your balance, or just find a small thing that makes you happy during the day. Everything you do matters. Thanks for coming along with us as we talk about the 8 uncommon signs of aging with grace, joy, and power. Don't forget that getting older doesn't mean losing what makes you unique. Instead, it means finding new ways to shine, adapt, and enjoy every moment. You are special, strong, and an inspiration to everyone around you. Don't stop moving, growing, or finding a reason for living every day. We hope to see you in our next film. For now, look after yourself, enjoy your unique strengths, and know that you are never on this road by yourself. Yes, your best years are still to come. Let's take this journey together, one day, one step, and one happy moment at a time.